We start off today's journey at the Hallenstand Way Shrine. This is located in the southwest corner of Dwemeri. In this zone, we find many sand-covered roads traversing across the southern portion of Dwemeri. We mount up and head out, taking in the scenery for a brief moment, then speeding up to go find this new dungeon that we've heard about. We dismount to get a closer view of what appears to be a rather distressing sight. It looks to be an Imperial researcher next to a pile of metal. Their skin is covered in blisters, as if it's been struck by lightning. This is odd. We search the corpse to find a bundle of notes that read, "Day 7. Damn dark in that cave under the sun. I can see the construct shows signs for dormancy rather than total failure." Oh, constructs! They must mean the Dwemer constructs. That would explain this pile of metal beside them, and the lightning strikes on this corpse. But what was an Imperial doing all the way out here in Dwemeri? We continue to read to try to answer our question. Day 8. No sign of additional inscriptions. We need to look elsewhere for clues as to how to open the vault in Razak's wheel. This construct must hold some clue. I should take it apart. There's a loud buzzing behind one of its compartments. With this, it's clear the Imperials are searching for something, and knowing the current state of Tamriel, it is probably for war. We have to investigate further to figure out what the Razak's wheel is. We pick up the quest, The Mystery of Razak. We look to where the body was pointed, and we now notice Dwemer ruins coming out of the sand. We head down this vague path dotted with more ruins until we're greeted with a grand Dwemer entryway. As we approach, we see out in this pathway that then narrows into a hallway that there appears to be even more corpses, dotting both left and right and even leaning up against the doors. Well, this is kind of a problem because what caused these corpses? We don't see any Dwemer constructs. Guess we'll just have to go further in. And with that, we head into Razak's wheel. Upon entry, we are greeted with the whirl of functioning cogs and view even more Imperial corpses lining the hall. We see both right and left paths are dead ends, forcing us to go straight. We notice a Dwemer bench with Dwemer urns and pots on either side of it. This public dungeon is a great location to farm for plants, especially Dwemer ones. As you can see, I even got lucky and scored a purple plant myself. But as we round the corner, we see there's no time for looting. Instead of corpses, we see hostile Imperial soldiers. With the help of some additional adventurers, we make quick work of these soldiers. We follow these adventurers to offer our aid in clearing out more hostiles, but it seems they have it covered. Guess that just means more time for looting, and even a bit of reading. These bookshelves can contain knowledge to help level up skills or lore. We continue to search some urns and navigate our way over to the other side. On here we find the lore book Chronicles of Ethliar Volume 1. You can pause to read the lore at your leisure, but we have no time to waste. Who knows what the Imperials are doing and when more reinforcements are going to arrive? We delve further into this dungeon. The narrow corridor opens up into a large chamber with Dwemer pipes and Imperial soldiers dotted around.
A little help would be very appreciated.
As we're going around this corner, we hear a voice call out to us for help. We look for the source of this voice and spot a woman tied up next to a light post. We approach her and she eagerly greets us.
I don't believe it. Thank the sands. How about untying me? They've had me down here for a week.
We ask her who she is and how she came to be here in this location.
Name's Damrina. I'm a Covenant scout. I saw the Imperial tents on my patrol and came to investigate. Ended up getting captured. Right, because that wasn't obvious.
Oh, so this poor woman got a little over her head during her scouting mission. Well, the least we can do is help her out by untying her. And with this, we start the quest, The Covenant Infiltrator. We give a woman the second to get her bearings and talk to her again.
Tal, Papa, and I owe you one, my new friend. But I need to ask another favor, if I can.
Well, it seems like this woman needs all the help she can get. We inquire further about the nature of her favor.
I was carrying orders when they captured me. Should have been more careful, but we've never seen Imperial activity this deep in the desert. I didn't even have time to destroy the orders. They've got everything I was carrying.
Oh no. Lost orders could mean a serious punishment for our new friend. Let's see if we can learn more about these orders.
They contained every patrol route the Covenant uses in the area. We need to make sure we recover those orders and eliminate everyone who's seen them. Luckily, I know exactly who to hit, if you're willing.
Well, this escalated quickly. It turned from a favor to a flat-out hit. Well, might as well get started. Let's ask who's on the chopping block.
You'll want to find Major Karina and Spy Master Gaeta. They interrogated me, and they're the only ones high-ranking enough to bother reading the orders. So eliminate them and recover my orders. Then we maybe can get out of here.
Well, we know who, but we don't know exactly where. Maybe Dwemeri will help with further clarification?
Major Karina was covered in grease. She was likely digging through the guts of a Dwemer construct somewhere. As for Spy Master Gaeta, I never met a spy who wasn't obsessed with high ground. She'll be at the highest elevation she can find. I'm going to find a place to lay low. Tell Papa, watch over us both.
That's pretty generalized, but I guess it's better than nothing. With that, our friend Dwemeri heads out to go find somewhere safe while we go finish the hit. We look around where Dwemeri was being held and notice some notes on a nearby table. Well, I'll be. These are notes on Razak. They appear to be from a scholar knowledgeable about this place. Maybe they can clarify why the Imperials are so interested in this location. Razak was beyond brilliant. If the historians back in Cyrodiil are to be believed, Razak was on the verge of his greatest creation before his death, a truly autonomous construct, able to operate without a control rod, and outside the borders of Dwemer cities. With this, we could harness, find, and replicate this device. The Imperial war machine would be unstoppable. That is, if we could get inside his damn vault. It's locked shut and resists every effort to open it, conventional or magical. The door has 3 keyholes, each with an alchemical symbol or something like it above it. I've ordered my men to search for the keys, but they're soldiers, not archaeologists. We've found nothing. Still, we're so close. One door stands between us and an army that never sleeps, never stops. Oh, that concludes the note. The Imperials want to make an autonomous army? This is not good. It sounds like this place is going to be swarming with even more soldiers and Dwemer alike. Well, so with this, we need to call backup, and we request the help of our delve enthusiast friend Miri to join us.
What's on the docket today? Hope we find something interesting today. I never used to fight this much. Until I met you.
And with that, we're off to delve further into this dungeon. As we proceed, we encounter more Imperials, and necromancer ones at that.
Burn it! Charge! Move, now!
Down the hallway, covered in pipes going up and down each side, we see there is a pillar obstructing the view. We reference our map, and according to this, we need to go down both the straight and left corridor eventually, so let's start with this dead end. We see an altar of sorts with the Benkarai landscape behind it. Upon further inspection of the anvil sitting upon the altar, we receive a Mundus key. Well, there we go. 1 down and 2 to go. We again inspect our map and decide to head straight from the altar. Bright light greets us at the end of the hallway as we see that this area opens up into a large courtyard with harsh desert sun illuminating these ruins. At the center of this courtyard is a platform with an inviting staircase leading right up to it. And who else to greet us but Spy Master Gaeta? After a brief fight, we take her down and recover Dwemeri's orders. There we go, that's 1 order and 1 to go. Yes, you did a good job, my Sundari Miri. We descend from our vantage point and immediately engage with more Imperial troops.
Set it ablaze!
Now, kill!
There appears to be an artifact that has caught an Imperial's eye. Why don't we investigate it further ourselves? After making quick work of this singular necromancer, we investigate this orrery and receive the Aetherius key. Oh, excellent! We now have 2 out of the 3 keys. We round the corner and find yet again more Imperial soldiers. Miri and I get some stretches in on these guys. Her throwing a few meteorites on their heads. We turn around and, oh, we see what was halting their progress. Standing in front of a dilapidated bridge, we see a large dwarven centurion. We loot a couple urns for good luck and engage this giant construct. He steps forward off the edge of the bridge and engages with us. Mary backing us up. We have no problem with this. After taking down this construct, we carefully proceed across the bridge that appears to have seen better days. Wouldn't want to fall down there. On the other side, we engage with now a motley crew of different Dwemer constructs. We have Dwemer spiders to Dwemer spheres and even a singular Dwemer centurion that seems to make a beeline for Miri. Well, you know, we'll let her have it. Well, okay, maybe we'll give her a hand. We look down the previously guarded path to see a dead end to our left. The wall at the end of the path appears to have some type of control panel. To our right, we see a path that opens up outside, so before we head out there, let's investigate the dead end ahead of us. We see an out-of-place fountain, and upon further inspection, we discover the Urbis key. With this, we have all 3 keys needed to unlock Razak's vault. This is awesome! We can now unlock these secrets of Razak's wheel that the Imperials were so intent on getting their hands on. Our questmaker indicates the vault to be down the path leading outside. This area is teeming with even more constructs. And after a brief consideration, we decide to prioritize finding the last hit to retrieve Damrina's orders. We hold the keys to the vault, so no one's going to be able to enter, while Damrina's orders, on the other hand, need to be located before they can be leaked. We navigate our way back with some rather quickly spawning constructs blocking our path as we backtrack, including swift reinforcements from the Imperials.
I need healing!
As we round up this last batch of Imperial reinforcements, we backtrack through the courtyard and head back up the platform to see Spy Master Gata is back for round 2.
Alert! Intruders!
Oh, there comes Miri finally.
You lead.
Don't worry, Miri, I already had this handled, but thank you. And with that, we knock her on her butt again. We leap off this platform, knocking a necromancer out on our way down, and head towards the last exit we haven't explored in this courtyard yet. We enter the large metallic doors and are brought to another winding hallway, full of Dwemer pipes on both sides. At the crossway between the hallways, we see what appears to be a ritual circle surrounding a broken Dwemer construct. We look around for traps and, not seeing any, we investigate further. And then out of nowhere, we get knocked on our butt, and then Major Karina appears out of this sigil. Well, as Miri says, it's gonna be a fight now. and not a long one at that. We quickly take down Major Karina and successfully retrieve the last of Damrina's orders. Now, with both of them and the key vault safely in our possession, we are free to leisurely explore. We inspect a nearby Dwemer chest and various urns to find some goodies. Including, a Dwemer motif. On the table we see Karina's journal. Maybe this journal can shed some light on how far the Imperials got in their research work on Razak's wheel. Her journal reads as follows. The great artificer's scribblings and riddles are maddening. Still, I am beginning to see why my superiors desire control of these constructs. They lack the common failings of men: fear, hunger, and thirst. They are nearly perfect soldiers. They are flawed, of course. They cannot think, making decisions, or act on instinct. Following orders is well and good, but soldiers without reason are only useful to a point. It causes me to wonder, what if the dwarves were onto something here? The constructs we've encountered are far tougher than I expected. The texts at the Imperial Library did not do them justice. Razak must have been a genius in the realms of artifice. Was he working on something even greater in the depths of the sealed vault? I just have to know. The Empire must have this power, no matter the price. Well, this shows that while the Imperials had a great desire for this technology, they never gained access to it. This makes me even more curious to unlock that vault. And with that, we rush back to the vault, navigating our way across the courtyard.
Bet they never saw that coming.
Cross the sketchy bridge. And back to that opening, where our map indicates the vault is located. Finish clearing out this last pile of Dwemer constructs in our way and turn the corner to see a sunlight splashing across some desert landscape as the Dwemer runes fall away to reveal this more natural courtyard dotted with both wood and or nodes. Don't mind harvesting a few while I'm here. Oh, but who could forget more Dwemer constructs appear? Working on these Dwemer spiders and spheres. We leave the Centurion to go bother Miri. Oh, but instead it likes us, I guess. Gonna give it one last whack and... oh, well. Looks like Miri has some spiders. And there we go. Gonna harvest this one node here and then... oh, there it is. The vault door. As we approach cautiously, because we see a roasted and charred corpse in front of the door. To the left of this corpse, we find what appears to be a note. These notes appear to describe the vault door in depth and are as follows. The door to Razak's wheel is one of the most impressive feats of Dwemer engineering I've seen. It resists every spell to unlock it that I know, and shrugs off even the strongest destruction spells. Perhaps the most fascinating part of the door is the series of pictograms etched into the door itself. They seem to form a narrative, and if my admittingly limited knowledge of the language serves me, it's the classic elven cosmology. First, there was Arborus, the formless chaos from which the universe formed. Then Lorcan, convinced that Aedra to sacrifice themselves to create the world Mundus. Then finally, at the birth of the world, Magnus opened a hole to Aetherius, creating the sun and setting magic flow into Nirn. The trinary comes up frequently in Razak's texts. Chaos, earth, magic. Perhaps it's central to his understanding of creation, not just of the world, but constructs as well? I will have to ruminate on this for later. For now, I'll try my hand at picking the lock. Perhaps I'll have success with the mundane where magic failed. This reading seems to have some good hints on how to open this door. Now, ignoring the ensuing chaos behind us, we step forward to the door to examine it closer. The door is tightly shut, but we see there are 3 keyholes at eye level. Each keyhole has a corresponding symbol below: Mundus, Arborus, Aetherius. These 3 keyhole symbols align with the 3 keys we found. Using the notes we found as a reference, we deduce that we should use Arborus key first. We are met with no resistance as we turn the key. We see gears quietly moving in the door. Well, so far so good. We move on to use our Mundus key next to find it turning smoothly, causing more gears to move. And finally, we use our last key, the Aetherius key, and with little resistance, the latch we hear unlocking from inside the door. Without further ado, let's see what's in this vault. Upon entry, we're greeted with a spacious room. The usual Dwemer piping lines the walls, along with various motors seen pumping in the back center of the room. The 2 pillars at the center of the room have what appear to be untouched workstations. And can't forget, guarding the room are numerous centurions and Dwemer spheres. After taking in our surroundings, we decide to proceed with caution. It appears that calmly walking in causes the constructions to remain neutral towards us. We'll see how long this lasts. Upon further investigation of the workbenches, we find what appears to be a Dwemer journal on the leftmost bench. I am no expert in the Dwemer language, but I make my best attempt to decipher the writings. From what I can tell, the texts contain various Dwemer writings and alchemical symbols. While determining the writings might be beyond me, they are accompanied by detailed diagrams for a Dwemer machine. It shows a final cog needed to finish the construct to make it fully functional. The journal's diagrams even show a design for the cog mold. Further inspection of this diagram reveals it to be a map of this very dungeon. Marked on the map are the locations of the cog mold, the location of nearby machinery to create a cog, and finally the resting place of the almost finished construct that needed not but 1 more cog for completion. Well, thank goodness the Dwemer were so thorough in their diagrams. The first stop in the scavenger hunt is to find the cog mold, which, after following the diagram's instructions, is at the workstation just at the other side of the pillar. Talk about convenient. Well, I might have spoken too soon. Guarding this workstation are 2 large Dwemer Centurions, and it doesn't look like we'll be able to retrieve the mold.
I think you got their attention.
Yes, Mary, I agree. I think we got their attention. Another Dwemer sphere joins the fray. We make quick work out of it. And with that, we can now investigate this workstation to find that in this ancient Dwemer coffer, there is an ancient cog mold. We successfully retrieve this mold and get our butts out of this vault before we can get into more trouble. And we head to the next location indicated by our map. This location, we're supposed to be able to manufacture the cog. We see a group of fellow adventurers that clear the way as we approach the machinery needed to make the cog. There are a few spheres and a centurion, but we sneak to try to avoid detection. We place the ancient Dwemer mold into the flaming mold slot. Is it supposed to be on fire? Oh, while waiting for our cog to be produced, we are detected by a hostile sphere. Miri and I take care of it. I hope it's the last one, Miri.
Oh, thank feck.
And now we just need to install this cog into Razak's machine. With a cog of this size, the machine produces going to be a giant, unstoppable construct. Well, better we found it than the Imperials.
Quite a bounty.
We cross-reference
Glad I don't have to carry
our
it.
map with the notes given on the Dwemer journal to pinpoint the location of Razak's machine. With the help of some found adventurers, we thoroughly search the passages leading to the machine. Well, before we can reach the machine, we find, of course, more Dwemer constructs blocking the way.
Whew, that was a bit of a warm-up.
And we spy what appears to be another Imperial soldier, labeled the Archivist Palmeria. Well, we can't have anybody getting more information on these constructs, especially Imperials. And we quickly take her down.
I like reading too, you know. If you ever need an excuse to get me something.
After looting a couple more urns and a backpack, we reorientate ourselves in these confusing and twisting pathways to get back on track to finding Razak's machine. As the smoke and fire from our latest scuffle clears, we round the corner in this narrow corridor to see the path open up to a large, spacious room. Oh, while distracted by the beauty of this room, we fail to notice, and therefore awaken a pile of Dwemer constructs. Fortunately, a fellow adventurer assists us in clearing them out.
Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess.
Upon
it wouldn't.
closer inspection, we
Maybe they
see
should
our
try that.
manufactured cog fits into the machine. We shove it in, and we are blasted back with the room going white. As our vision returns, we see a small Dwemer spider sitting in front of us. Wait, this can't be it. Our dreams of a giant Dwemer war machine are quickly dashed. The construct stills itself for a moment and then activates its legs as though it's preparing to move. Walks a few steps away, starts stuttering left and right, appearing to get overwhelmed by the infinite decisions that come along with being autonomous, and breaks down. With that, Razak's opus falls to the ground in pieces. We gather up his pieces and store them for later. Maybe with a little bit of tinkering, we can help get this little guy to find his place in the world. And maybe even invite him on some future adventures. With the mystery of Razak's machine over, our last task is to make our way back to Dwemeri.
I guess this is a fight now.
With the help of some fellow adventurers, we clear out various Dwemer constructs and Imperial soldiers along the way.
I probably shouldn't be proud of that.
As we navigate our way back, we reflect on the fact that the magnum opus of Razak was a little Dwemer spider that became easily overwhelmed by the big, scary world. It's rather interesting to think about the fact that the Imperial soldiers fought their way into this dungeon, many of them dying trying to uncover the secrets buried here by time and sand. Maybe it's for the best that they'll be able to write it off to their superiors as a loss and never recover the fact that this was a complete bust. As we navigate back, we see some familiar hallways and enter back into the chamber where we originally met Dwemeri. We round the last corner and arrive back at the entrance to see Dwemeri waiting for us.
Made it out alive, I see. How did it go?
We let her know we took care of the hit and retrieved her orders.
When presented with a miracle, Redguards normally thank Tall Papa, but he didn't show up down here to untie me. So, thanks go to you, my friend. The Covenant owes you a debt.
And with that, we receive Dwemeri's thanks and complete our quest.
I need to get back to my superiors. With any luck, these bastards will still be in disarray when we sweep back through here. Farewell. They won't be catching me again. A week down here was very motivating. I need a vacation. Time to go. Always more scouting to do. There's still a war on. I hope you find your path well, my friend.
We watch her as she heads out of the Dwemer ruins. And with that, we've completed the story of Razak's Wheel. We discovered why the Imperials had come so far south to investigate this specific Dwemer site, and saved our new friend Dwemeri from Imperial captivity, even recovering her orders. So what are your thoughts on this public dungeon? Was this Dwemer research on track to developing autonomous constructs? Do you think the Imperials would have done if they had located the keys to the vault? Do you think we will see our new friend Dwemeri again? We might not be able to answer some of these questions, but regardless, thank you guys so much for joining me today on this adventure. I have a special place in my interest for Dwemer ruins and was excited to explore this location. If you want to see more Elder Scrolls Online dungeon exploration, check out my other videos, or come check me out on Twitch. You can follow me there on Twitch under Savvy Snapdragon, or subscribe here on YouTube to make sure you get notifications for all upcoming content. If you have suggestions for future locations, make sure to comment below, and if I use your suggestion on purpose, I'll make sure to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a great day.